Hey, welcome back to ball fans. Today we're going to dive into Rick Barnes' latest edition of his basketball team. Having a pretty tremendous season, Bob, and led by a fantastic ball player.
Heck yeah, they're playing really good, and nobody's playing better than Dalton Knecht right now. I mean, 32-point average over the last 5 games. I mean, he's scorching hot.
Well, there he is. I mean, he's in the talk now for National Player of the Year. He'll have to continue on because his season average, Bob, is under 20 points due to really he had a cold spell after he hurt his ankle. Probably shouldn't have been playing.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a little bit of his ankle, a little bit of the way teams were, attacking him. But I'll give him a little bit of a break on that. But, yeah, if he can continue on, though,
Anywhere close to what he's doing now.
that'd be awesome.
But another thing, not just the National Player of the Year, but Tennessee's got Tennessee fans talking on the message boards and on social media just how high is he among all-time Tennessee greats?
That's a good question. I've had seen where some people had him number one, and that's crazy talk there, really, in my opinion, because there's only one guy he sits firmly that's top, and that's Bernard King.
Well, and he is the only basketball royalty that we have. Bernard King from day one, 42 points, first game off the bus. I mean,
yeah,
just incredible. 26 points his freshman year, player of the year in the conference.
player of the year, either shared it all 3 years he was here. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it was. And the one year he did share it, he shared it with a teammate, Ernie Grunfeld, another one of Tennessee's greats.
Two oddities with King that's crazy is I don't remember a player sharing player of the year in the conference with a teammate.
Yeah, with a teammate.
I don't know if I've ever seen that before.
If it did, I'd have to go back and look. It would have been Shaq and Chris Jackson.
Yeah, possibly. But I definitely.
And I don't know that they did.
Yeah, but they didn't either. And another oddity with King is the 30-point deal with 3 players on that team scoring 30 points in one game.
Yeah, Bernard King, Ernie Grunfeld, and Mike Jackson, who I believe averaged over 16 points his senior year. All scoring over 30 points. That has to be some kind of odd record.
Yeah, I've never seen that. Not in college. I mean, I don't know if I've seen it in pros, but in college, for 3 guys to go over 30, I can't really tell you that I've ever seen 2 guys over 30. If I have, it's been very limited. It might have been maybe a Shaq, Chris Jackson type of game. That might have happened, but
well, if any of y'all know of an instance in college where 3 guys went over 30 points in the same game, take a moment out, please. Put it in the comments. I want to check this out. And while you're there, go ahead, hit that like button if you don't care. And we'd really appreciate a subscription. So, hit both those things. But, yeah, please, if you know of someone else, another team that had 3 guys go over 30, and it's probably happened sometime or another.
probably.
But I'd like to know about it.
Yeah. Connect. I mean,
but does he have an argument?
no, I don't think so. But now, where would he fit on these lists of all-time greats? There's been some really good ones down there, Tim.
Well, there have been, and Connect himself, I will say, he's at the top of my list maybe in one thing, and that is his all-around offensive game.
Yeah, I mean, he's
scores at all 3 levels.
Yeah.
Scores in transition, dynamite in transition, man.
Yeah.
He's like, once he kicks it in to another gear, he's like a track star.
Yeah, he's deceptively fast, and I think that's one thing that takes people by surprise. You 6'6", speed.
Wide.
Yeah, right. And he finishes strong at his basket.
Very strong. Yeah, he shoots outside. He can back you down. He can go in for that mid-range 12-foot jumper and elevate over you.
And does that very well. Very well.
He does. Slice you to the basket. Offensively, his game really doesn't have many holes. if I had to nitpick a couple of things, I might say when he backs people down, his handle isn't as good as it could be. He gets picked
Yeah.
sometimes. And I'd like to see him get a few more assists per game. And I've seen him the ability. He's made some great passes.
Yeah.
But those are nitpicks.
Yeah, he'll probably have some more opportunities for that assist. People gonna start doubling him.
More.
You know.
More than they already have.
Yeah.
Um, Now, there, he might be the best all-around offensive game
Mm-hmm.
of anyone, Bernard included, because Bernard didn't really have an outside shot, didn't need one, and coach might have put him on the bench if he took too many outside shots back out there.
Yeah.
And some of our other guys, like Tony White, yeah, Tony could shoot outside, he could slash in, he was speed, but obviously at his size, he's not backing anyone down into the paint. Dale Ellis, obviously, you saw the NBA career, incredible, one of the best outside shooters of all time. But the majority of his playing time here was a back to you basket power forward. Shot 65% from the field, I believe it was his junior year, maybe a senior.
60 for his career, I think.
60 for his career.
That's impressive. You know what I mean?
Yeah, smoothest. I would say the smoothest score that we ever had. In around the basket, 12 foot, and then just killed it. Beautiful turnaround, little jumper from the side that just swish all day long. But you know what I mean? He, athletically, to be 6'7", he was not someone that just slashed, could explode to the basket. Uh, but I mean, and some other guys on that list. Allen Houston,
Mm-hmm.
best pure shooter I believe I've ever seen. If you had to give a class on how to shoot a basketball, slap a film of Allen Houston into it.
Yeah, every shot looked like it was going in. Houston shot the ball. I mean, it just looked effortless, and it just looked like it was going in, man. And I tell you what, he played on some bad teams, uh, but he couldn't do it all on his own. I mean, I think he's averaged 20 points for his career.
Well, he averaged every single season.
Every single season.
4 years. And obviously he would have went to pros after his junior season if his dad wasn't the coach.
Right.
Mentally tough. He had to be on those teams.
Yeah.
I mean, God, I don't mind. But we've had some other great players. We could throw on that list of great guys. Your Loftons,
Mm-hmm.
Grant Williams,
Right. And Grunfeld.
yeah, who might be the closest to Connect in some ways.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, a lot. Man, I tell you what, Grunfeld. What would he have been like on a team by himself? I mean, Player of the Year one year. I mean, but you said I was a little bit for my time, but you said his game kind of reminded you a little bit of Connect.
Well, he does. He was 6'6", like Dalton is,
Mm-hmm.
and obviously he was the outside guy. He shot from distance for UT,
Mm-hmm.
and he backed people down. He was a big guard, so he could play anywhere really. I mean, I felt he could score anywhere on the floor also. As far as an all-around game, he's the one probably that mirrors to me the most of what we're seeing out of Connect right now. He didn't have the athleticism, the pure speed or the height on the jumping ability that Dalton Knecht has. But like you said, Bob, I mean, if he'd been on a team where he was the main star, his numbers may have been just out of the stratosphere.
Well, Tim, what can push Connect in your mind up the list?
Well, it would be hard for him to get into my top two. I believe Ellis. You look over the entirety of his career,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be almost impossible to push past him, in my opinion.
Right.
However, that number 3 spot, Player of the Year, don't believe we've ever had one, would be a big jump. I mean, you can't just discount that.
Got to mean something,
You know.
And if you can win a championship, maybe.
Well, championships Bob is going to make him one of the most beloved players in any sport at UT ever.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, he might push for that best season ever for a ball.
and he could have the best season ever
Yeah.
for a
And he
ball.
could win a championship, make it, or even if he wins the Player of the Year award and then makes it to a Final Four, then he could be pushing for that best year, single season. That's a possibility.
That's a very good possibility. Even though he may not hit like scoring average, because it's going to be difficult
Yeah.
to add that many points over the end of this season. But uh, I could see him potentially having the greatest year of any basketball player of all time.
It could happen. That's available, I think.
Hmm. Well, guys, tell us what you think that he needs to do. Can he get uh, how far up the list? I guess.
Yeah.
Can he get to your top 10?
Yeah.
Leave it in comments. Tell us where we're wrong. Tell us where we're right. Tell us what you think.
Yeah.
Bob, do you got anything to add on that?
Nope.
Well, in that case, go Big Orange.
Go Vols.